Hi and welcome to another free-volous webisode. As promised, I'm bringing you my favorites in makeup from 2021. These are products that I personally came across and played with in 2021, not necessarily new releases or anything, but here we are. Before we go any further, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and leaving me thumbs up, talking to me on the comments below. I always leave this to the end, and I don't know if this makes a difference, but I'm trying something new. And other than that, if my voice still sounds a bit rugged, yes, I'm still dealing with the remainders of a very light COVID affliction that I've had. Fortunately, just stay safe and keep others safe, please. Let's jump into the makeup, shall we? All disheveled editing me popping up here just to say that I wanted to mention the brand of the year this year because I fell in love with it and it needs all the praise it can get, which is Danessa Myricks. I think in terms of vision, in terms of innovation, in terms of the formulas doing whatever they say they will do, in terms of bringing out something different from what is already being done, Danessa Myricks is leaps and bounds ahead of so many other very, very hyped brands. You get that editorial vision from her, but you can do it on your own at home with her products. That added to the fact that the price range isn't stupidly high. It's not drugstore, but it's in that mid-range of the high-end mid-range, and at the same time the type of connection to the audience that they have and she has through Instagram, and also her customer service, at least the European store, is fantastic. I think it is the type of brand that we should all look up to and use as model in a way, or as a comparison to everything else that's out in the market, because it's a full package in my opinion. So that said, I'll leave you to the video, which will be Danessa Myricks heavy. Why not? First thing, foundations. And for someone who in 2020 did not have one single foundation to mention on their year roundup, I actually have so many this year. So things balance themselves out, I guess. Let's start with the most obvious or the most recent one. I have a video on almost every single product that every single foundation that I'm mentioning here, but if you want one video specific about a foundation that I haven't done, just let me know in the comments. The most obvious and the most expensive is the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Foundation. This gives you light to medium coverage, a low medium coverage. I like the satin matte finish. I like that it's self-setting and I don't need to powder it. I like the way it works with my skincare and especially my sunscreen. It doesn't get all balled up or anything. It lasts a fair amount of time. I like the shade matching, particularly because I'm a light olive skin toned person and there aren't many foundations like that. This is extremely expensive and it's something to put in a special place in your boudoir, I'd say. As you can see, I asked for the full size on my birthday and I got it because I'm a good girl. I'm a good girl. Next up, less praised on this channel, but still really used it a lot, especially in the summer, the Fenty Beauty Ease Drops. It's the first foundation kind of product from the brand that I actually like. Shade match is nice. It's a dewy finish for me. It starts to become dewy throughout the day. It lasts well. It's a bit transfery, so doesn't work the best with masks, but still really like the finish. Didn't cake up on me, didn't collect on my lines. This is a hit or miss foundation for so many people. So many don't like it. I really love it. A fantastic hit for me, and this is such an original formula. This is the Vision Cream Cover foundation from Danessa Myricks. I love that you can get it in small, I think €5 or something, sample sizes that will last you a long time because this is high coverage and this is oil based. So this one you can thin down with an oil, you will have a dewier finish, but some of her oils are not heavy, greasy oils. I love this. I know oil-based foundations are not the rave at the moment. I personally really enjoy it. So this is a big high praise from me. And then we have two foundations that are super inexpensive, and I'm so happy. This one almost didn't make it to the list because I thought this was on last year's list, but I only found this out or tried it out on camera in February 2021. It's the Purito Cica Clearing BB Cream. I have an up close and personal on this. This is one of the best foundations I've ever tried, period. I don't use it on camera or mention it too much on camera because the shade range is disgraceful. They have added a few colors, but this is high coverage. This is a higher coverage, medium to high. It's not a very full coverage product. It still has quite some coverage, so they need to have lots of shades because a little bit of a niffy match will be noticeable on the skin. Other than that, it lasts all day fantastically. It takes on the finish of the product that you have underneath, so it can go from satin matte to very dewy with no problem, with no breaking down. I love this, and the skin looks beautiful. It looks like your own skin, but it looks perfected. For my hyperpigmentation, this is one of the best because it has the best coverage to natural finish ratio. Up next, I did an up close and personal on this one too. This is a Pretty Natural foundation from Essence. I was super surprised. I'm still fairly surprised of how much I like this. It's so inexpensive. It's easy to come by, at least in Europe, when you have Essence counters everywhere in pharmacies and stuff. And if you find a shade match, which is the biggest nuisance because the box, the color on the box doesn't match the color of the foundation. This one is 110. I started at 60 thinking that would be my shade. So you can see I've been buying shades that are closer to my skin tone depending on the season. But it is a thin consistency. It's very lightweight. It lasts really well on me. It looks super natural on the skin. It doesn't crease. It doesn't cake. It's a very good basic foundation that looks very perfecting on the skin. It goes up to a medium coverage, I'd say. And yeah, those are the main foundations that I've discovered this year. Now I need to do an honorable mention. R.I.P. Becca. I found this out too late. This is the Light Shifter foundation, or Doing Tint. It's basically a tinted moisturizer, and I've tried several illuminating tinted moisturizers, and they either don't have enough coverage, or they have coverage but they're not that illuminating, and they just look like foundations that are not that good looking on my skin because I need to build up a little bit more coverage because of my hyperpigmentation. I struggled to find a tinted moisturizer until I found this, and then Becca was gone. I bought this at the last minute when those crazy sales were going on, just to try it out, you know, just thinking I'll use it as an illuminator. No, this is the best dewy, actually dewy with a bit of pearl tinted moisturizer that has enough coverage just to even out my hyperpigmentation, and at the same time it just looks like glossy skin. Oh, I'm so sad that Becca went down. I really am. And this was fantastic. Sorry, you can't find it. And if you find it somewhere in a legit place, get it. I totally recommend. And if you don't like it, send it to me because I'll bathe in this forever. Yeah. Now, up next, concealers. I have two. One, again, surprised me. I use this more as a color correcting kind of product underneath my eyes. This is the Fenty, oh, the names. I think it's called Bright Fix concealer. This is kind of a, for me, this color at least, which is deep butter, I think. It's a bit peachy, so it has a bit of yellow, but at the same time it has a bit of pink. It's great for concealing my under eye circles, but it's a very fluid. It's not one of those, I have the pot correctors, you know, from Becca, the erase paste, old school from Benefit. This is a very thin liquid product, so it gives you a very thin layer of coverage if you want something to just pop on and leave out the door and not being too concerned with concealing the corrector. This is a good one, but it also layers really well underneath any kind of concealer. So I like that for that. And also if I have a lots of redness from anything on my skin, it's a good one because of the yellow undertone in it. It can help with that. Now, my favorite concealer, no news there. Dior Forever Skin Correct concealer was my biggest find of the year. It has a thickness to it that I really enjoy, although it, when blended onto the skin, it does look like skin, unless you really pack it on, and then you can make it really cement like an old school YouTube tutorial kind of thing. But you can really make it work for a more natural finish, and I love this product for concealing, especially my blemishes, and again, any darkness underneath my eyes, I go with that also. Now, this was base. I don't have any powders this year, but let's jump into the rest of the complexion products. Let's talk about illuminators. I have two here. Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin again. No. Elevated Glow. Oh, what are the names? Elevated Glow Highlighter. Mine is in Crystal Nebula. I love this underneath foundation to give that glow, or on top just tapped to give a bit of a pearlescence. This is not the most impactful highlighter, I'd say, but I love it for it because you can use it underneath a thinner foundation and it still will look really nice and natural. Bang on the money. And again, I love the self-setting kind of formula that doesn't pill, which is really important. And the other one, again, this was something I bought late winter 2020 and I didn't talk about it in my favorites because it was too recent. This is from Chanel. This is their Balm, highlighting balm, but mine is in rosé because they didn't have the transparent one. And I'm really happy that they didn't. You just take a little bit, and because it has a bit of a tint, it almost acts like a tinted highlighter and blush balm kind of mix. I love this. I have this on my little Vueset palette. I carry it around and I love the dew that it gives. Yes, your hair sticks to your face with this, so you may want to wear your hair up when you're wearing this. Other than that, still on the cheeks, bronzer. I've tried several, loved several, but this is the one that I want to talk about. Danessa Myricks. This is the Balm Contour, or this one, you know, this one. I love the way this blends. I love the way this looks on the skin. I love that if you apply this on a matte foundation, this will take on that mattifying effect. If you apply this on dew, this will go full dew. Although this is a balm, this is not in itself too dewy that it will make everything go glossy and sticky. You know, it still has a kind of a setting power. Yes, power, not powder. A kind of a setting power to it, which I really enjoy. My favorite, and they have lots of colors, which is so good. Now, blushes, I have 3 here. Only one is a powder. You will notice pattern this year was all with the creams and the liquids. First one, Danessa Myricks Vision Flush. This is, I have 3 of them. I love them all, but Nutcracker is the most special to me because this gives you, you can use this almost as a contour, but I love this as, you know, a beigey kind of blush. I love that on this. If their color fixes, I've said this, if their color fixes are the gouaches, so really opaque, these are the watercolors, but you can still have a powerful color output if you're not careful. But it's really simple to blend out, so I really enjoyed these, the Vision Flushes. And I think this is their entryway kind of product into the Danessa Myricks range because it's so easy to blend and you can use it on your eyes, on your lips, on your cheeks. But this color, Nutcracker, is not the most obvious product color that you go for, but I've been really enjoying this as kind of an actual nude blusher this year, which I'm into. beigey blushes. The other one is from Lisa Eldridge. Hated the packaging. They need to rethink that, but the color itself, this is Mountain Walk. Obviously, this would become my favorite on my wintry months because I like these kind of flushed cheeks with a bit of magenta, a bit of a punch to them. Love the color. The formula is fantastic. Terrible packaging though. And the other one is the Natasha Denona Bloom Highlighting Blush. I used this non-stop in the summer. I don't do corals and I loved this. It gives that juicy cheek, but it's a powder, so it doesn't have that stickiness, which some people may not like. I wish she had a range of these blushes in this size. This is the mini size. You don't need anything else, Natasha, just this size and a huge range of blushes with this shiny, beautiful finish because, again, Becca's blushes are gone and this would be the best replacement for that kind of sheeny cheek. That looks really flattering, even though you may have some texture. There's no problem with that at all. I was umming and ahhing if I should include this or not, but let's be honest, these are my favorites and this is how I've been using this product. This is a lipstick that I've been using as a blusher because, as I said, I'm going through a phase of neutrally nudie, actually beige blushes. And this is the Gucci lipstick that I bought when I got the fabulous bronzer, which is not in the favorites because the color is not the best for me, but I can still make it work. Anyway, this color, oh, I can't read it and I forgot my glasses. I'll put it right here, right now, right here, right now. I love this color just on my cheeks. This is such a beautiful, let me show it to you. It's a beautiful beige. It's a beige. It's a nude beige. It looks good on the lips too. I need liner with it because it's too white outish for me. But just as it is on the cheeks, one of the most beautiful colors. And because this is an actual cream lipstick, it looks slightly glossy, slightly dewy. You know how it goes. I love that. Most people may not, but I do. Now let's talk about eyes. And if you've watched my channel throughout this year, you know what I'm going to say next. Danessa Myricks Color Fix. Be it colourful or just neutrals, they have a huge range of nudes. I love the mattes more than anything. They're super long wearing. It's what I'm wearing on my eyes today. They don't crease. You can go as colourful or as neutral as you'd like. You can mix colours as if they were paints. And they're still really easy to apply, which is fantastic. And their gloss is it's the Color Fix Glaze. It's a glossy formula. I have the clear one. They have others with other effects. You apply this on top of your mattes, and they don't crease, but they do look glossy. It's fantastic. Just know if you have a fringe like I do, it may stick to your gloss, which is normal, so get it out of the way, but it works without creasing. So this is hands down my favorite product from 2020, one of my favorite products from 2021, no questions asked. I later discovered or tried out the Twin Flames, and Everlasting is my favorite color. It shouldn't be because it has sort of a green shift to it. It goes from gold to green, but having other things underneath, the green kind of gets, you know, toned down. And these, the Twin Flames are fantastic. I love the chunkier ones because they have a bit more texture, so they're a bit more interesting. But they have other ones that are sort of milky and that have just this shift instead of having chunky texture to it. I like these ones. But then what I wore most of my summer, and I have to be honest with you, is one of these two pencils as a liner. And these are by Kiko. I think these were limited edition, their summer collection, but I think you can still find some on sale. It's from the Fruit Explosion collection, and I have number 2 and number 3. This is more of a corally, and this is more of a bright magenta fuchsia kind of color, just as a liner. I also have number 5, which is a bright turquoise pink. this was what I wore when I couldn't be asked to do anything. I just dabbed this, it was done. Really long wearing, fantastic. This kind of formula and these shades should be permanent on Kiko's collection. I don't know what they're doing with their lives, but they have such great products in their temporary kind of collections, and then the permanent stuff is so meh, you know. Now I have to talk about this too. This is the Natasha Denona mini retro palette, and I wasn't expecting to love it as much as I do. I've been using a lot of these mini palettes from Natasha Denona, and this is not a color scheme I'd go for right off the bat, but I love it. I love these two darker colors. I love, this can be a bit more annoying to wear because it's a matte, but I like this kind of poppy pink, and this color. This is basically a glass topper, and it's gorgeous. I know Colourpop does very affordable versions of this kind of product, but you know, if you're into looking for a palette from Natasha Denona, I think these minis are the way to go if you like any of the color stories. Not all of them have this kind of topper shade, which is a shame. I think she should do one of those, at least one of these, but a midi palette, the 60-something-year-old palettes. She should do one with just kind of these toppers and cream to powders, her special formulas. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but this is one I've been using a lot this year. Now, regarding mascara, I finally have one to talk about, and my favourites isn't that amazing. Usually I go either for Clinique Lash Power, which is a tubing mascara, or Hourglass Caution, which is very long wearing on my eyes despite not being tubing nor waterproof, and it gives me the fluttery lash that I like, kind of like Better Than Sex type of mascaras, but with a more, with a bigger lasting power. And this one, I was really surprised. I bought this on a whim at Sephora. This is from Ilia, and it's their Limitless Lash Mascara. And it has one of those, I hate plastic bristles. I don't like them at all, but it makes my lashes look really good. It has two sides to the bristle, so you can choose which one to use. One gives a bit more volume, one gives more separation. You can interchangeably use them, just flipping your wrist, and it gives me beautiful lashes, and it's really long wearing. It doesn't smudge. It doesn't give me as much volume. It could give me a smidge more volume just to get closer to the caution effect and the Better Than Sex kind of effect, but as a whole, fantastic mascara. As usual, I only buy minis because I use them up in 3 months, which is the amount of time you should have a mascara, so it's not worth it for me to have big, full-size mascaras. Eyes are done, and we're almost... I've been talking for so long. Eyes are done. Let's talk about the lips. I have Katie Jane Hughes. Katie Jane Hughes should be the item here. But this is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in Endless Cacao. If you follow Katie Jane Hughes, you know she recommends and uses this pencil left and right, and for a reason. This is a dark, cool toned lip pencil that you can also use on your eyes. It's not just for the lips. That really makes any lipstick look better because this contours the lips. So I like to use it with my nudes when they're a bit wishy-washy on me, but this can be used for almost any lip color. And the only downside of this is that with Lisa Eldridge lip pencils, they set on the lips and they create a film that doesn't budge. They're even more long-lasting than the lipsticks. This is just a lip pencil that lasts well and fades, but it doesn't have that longevity that I would like to see in a product like this, just to stick to your lips and never go away. But this is not what I'm wearing today. I'm wearing my Romand lip tints, and these are mask approved, mask era approved. I don't remember when I first got the Glossing water tint from Romand. This is a bit of a glossy finish, and then it just where the gloss wears down and the tint stays on the lips. Love this, but I'm sure I bought these this year from YesStyle. And these are just amazing. I especially like this one is in 06 Fig Fig. And this just tints your lips. And once the outer layer fades, your lips don't feel dry at all as they would with a liquid lipstick and stuff like that, and they don't look crackly. My lips tend to look pretty crackly really easily. They're really super dehydrated, they have lots of lines, and with this they always look pretty juicy, really nice, but I have a tint of color. And if the first layer fades, you still have tint on your lips that doesn't easily transfer onto the masks. So these are my favorite discovery, and I'm going to dive deeper into lip tints this year because I loved this formula and I want to discover what else more is there. I have two more things to talk to you about. One is the Ecotools biodegradable sponge. You know I love my Real Technique sponges. This is kind of the same feeling, especially once it's wet. It's really bouncy on the skin, it's not scratchy at all, it's not too porous that you can stamp little indentations on your skin or anything. But this is biodegradable, supposedly. So because I like to toss my sponges every 3 months at least, if this is not greenwashing, please let it not be greenwashing. If this is actually biodegradable, it's just a thing, because I love the texture, I love the effects it gives on my skin, and I'm a bit more at ease with the fact that I'm tossing these every 3 months. Lastly, and I have a full video on this, my View set, especially this mini palette. I'll put the name here because each format has their own name, of course, a model. And this is where I carry my full face, except for mascara and a powder, of makeup, cream makeup. I have right now 3 blushes that can act as eyeshadows, cream eyeshadows. I have 1 highlighter. I have a foundation that can work as a concealer, and I have bronzer, and I just dab it on my fingers and just out the door. It's always on my purse, in my purse, with a powder, a compact powder with a mirror, that and a lip balm, and I'm good to go around. I'm a huge fan of this, and I think this size is the perfect carry-on size. And yeah, I'm eager to make more depottings and creating my more kind of customized makeup collection. So 2 minutes on my countdown on my card, and I just have to thank you if you stayed all this time. Thank you so much for watching and for sticking with me, and let me know in the comments below which are your makeup favorites. I know these were a lot, but as much as I want to do a very curated kind of thing, that was not my reality. This is what happened. I tried and loved lots of makeup and was very happy to go back and forth between everything. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. As usual, if you've enjoyed it, please leave me a thumbs up, comment down below what you want to see next from me, subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you for spending your time on me. I will see you on my next video. Bye!